Welcome to a journey where the iron resolve of Stoic warriors meets the cosmic clarity of the Bhagavad Gita. Together, they illuminate a timeless path toward unshakable self-belief, an ancient secret, now refired for modern confidence. Let's walk this path through 5 living chapters, each breathing fresh life into ancient wisdom and ending with a question that invites you to carve it into your own story. Chapter 1. The Warrior's Stance. Picture the twilight of a battlefield in ancient Greece, the sun slanting over the marble columns of Olympia. A young hoplite, barely an adult, stood shoulder to shoulder with veterans in the phalanx, his breath shallow, his mind haunted by an unseen dread. In the distance, the sound of drums and the clatter of spears grew louder, but the echo in his chest was a stubborn, unheeded fear. He glanced once over the heads of comrades and felt, for the first time, that he did not have a choice: to step forward or become a shadow behind the line. This moment is mirrored in Chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, when the battlefield lies between Arjuna's hands and his heart. At first glance, his faltering spirit looks a sign of defeat, but Krishna teaches him that the courage to act is not a matter of feeling fear and ignoring it. It is about recognizing that the mind is a tool that can be sharpened, not shackled. The lesson is simple: uncertain courage means action, not suppression. In your own arena, whether you're negotiating a raise, launching a startup, or standing up for a truth, your inner warrior's stance is about stepping forward despite the unseen doubts. Start each day by choosing an action that feels risky, then carry it through. When that risk reveals itself to be merely a fear, the action will anchor your confidence and remind you that courage is not the absence of fear, but the readiness to act anyway. Your own battlefield might be a small email, but it can be a practice field for the greater battles ahead. How do you find the brave stance that lets you step forward while your mind is humming with doubt? Like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more stories that turn ancient battlefields into everyday life lessons. Chapter 2. The Quiet Fire. Imagine a morning in Rome, the city still cool, the marble streets reflecting pale light. Emperor Marcus Aurelius, alone on a walk, hears the distant murmur of traffic and the sighs of plague, grief, loss, and the inevitable, unseen fate of every citizen. Yet the emperor does not let the grief burn him into paralyzing panic. Instead, he feels a quiet fire, an unshakable sense of purpose that flows through his mind, steady as a river. He reminds himself daily that control is limited to the mind, that every breath is a chance to reaffirm that the present moment is what matters. This is the Stoic discipline of premeditatio malorum, the meditation of bad events. By mentally rehearing hardship, the mind becomes unshaken when calamity actually arrives. Your own quiet fire lives in the moments when you choose to focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your reactions, how you meet the challenge. When a deadline looms, you breathe into your work the same disciplined calm that Aurelius carries through streets of Rome. When a colleague criticizes you, you listen, but your internal fire does not flicker toward shame. Take a breath, write down one area where you feel beyond control, and imagine how you would shape that scenario by choosing your reaction. Set this simple intention to practice daily, and watch how the outside world's noise subsides. Will you let a quiet fire guide your thoughts in a world that begs for reaction? Like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more Stoic guides to harness inner calm. Chapter 3. The Unbroken Arrow. We travel east to a small village in ancient India, where a simple farmer, Ravi, tends his fields at dawn. The village elder, a wise man named Yogi Mahesh, once told Ravi that his mind was an arrow that could be carved with purpose. Ravi had always thought of his arrow as a blunt instrument. He pushed the plow, but had no intention behind the force. Only an arrow that knows its target can pierce the world's confusion, the elder said. Ravi's mind echoed a story from the Bhagavad Gita. The path of karma, selfless action, is the arrow that, when aimed upon divine purpose, becomes unstoppable. The arrow's unbroken strength lies not in its shape, but in the intention that drives it. In the marketplace of today, the same principle rings true. Whether you are launching a product, speaking in a meeting, or engaging in community service, align your intention with a higher purpose. Begin each task by asking, "Why am I doing this?" If the answer is an authentic alignment with something larger than the ego, your effort will feel lighter, and the world will receive it with openness. Practice this by writing a mission statement for your daily projects. Notice how your confidence swells when the plan is anchored in a purpose beyond personal gain. Do you let your actions be the unbroken arrow that serves a purpose larger than yourself? Like, share, and subscribe follow for more ways to aim and fire your intent. Chapter 4. The Balanced Dance. Ancient Chinese sages often described life as a dance between the yin and yang. A classic parable tells of the great general Sun Tzu, who never marched into battle without first balancing his strategy, the state of his allies, the winds, and the terrain. Yet he never became complacent, for he kept his mind open to new possibilities, adapting as the battlefield shifted. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that the mind is a constant current. When one balances the flow of desire and duty, the soul harmonizes with all that it touches. The dance of balanced action is the foundation of unwavering self-belief because it frees the mind from extremes, fear at one side, egocentrism at the other. Every entrepreneur today can learn from this dance. When a startup fails, the instinct is to either sprint in new direction or retreat. Instead, pause and assess. What is the core purpose? What does the market need? Where does your true curiosity lie? Create a rhythm that alternates reflection and execution, one step forward, one step back to adjust. Apply the dance to your relationships as well. When a partner's needs feel unbalanced with yours, take a moment to step into their space, then step back into yours. This practice nurtures confidence not just in decisions, but in coexistence. Can you master the dance that keeps your purpose in balance while you push forward? Like, share, and subscribe follow as we dance toward confidence together. Chapter 5. The Reflecting Stone. In the quiet valleys of Kashmir, a stone by a river was considered a mirror of truth. A wanderer named Nalanda would sit beside the stone, watching the water trickle over it, and each ripple reflected a different version of himself. At dusk, the night sky would rise above the valley, and Nalanda would ask the stone, "Who am I when the world disappears?" The stone, though silent, taught him that his true essence is indifferent to the fleeting outside world. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is akin to the self, the eternal witness that observes all. The key lesson is that our confidence is built upon that witness, a consistent presence that does not waver. In modern terms, your inner voice becomes a lighthouse, steady amid storms of doubt or praise. To incorporate this, take a daily moment of inward gaze. Close your eyes, breathe, and ask yourself, what does my core self say when I am alone? How does it feel to be simply present? Record what you discover in a journal. Over time, patterns emerge, a resilient stance, an anchored sense of purpose, a calm certainty. Your confidence will not depend on external validation, but on that inner reflective stone that refuses to shift with the wind. Do you wish to keep your confidence in the place where reflection meets reality? Like, share, and subscribe follow for more guidance that turns ancient stones into personal anchors. Philosophy Spotlight. Stoicism, the art of unshakable resolve. Stoicism is a philosophy that invites us to master the mind by distinguishing what we can control from what we cannot. In its simplest, it teaches that external events are neutral. Our judgments, emotions, and actions give them character. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, embodied this by viewing his daily rulership as a series of manageable thoughts, not reactions to chaos. He wrote in his private journal, Meditations, that the art of living is less about control and more about acceptance. From Stoicism arise 3 timeless lessons for modern success and personal growth. 1. The discipline of perception. Before you react, pause to consider whether an event is truly yours to influence. By reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, you maintain confidence even in turbulence. For instance, a client's criticism can be seen as a chance to refine your offering, not a verdict of worth. 2. Mindful detachment. Stoicism does not advocate apathy. It encourages an emotional but controlled response. Think of a project setback. Instead of ruminating guilt or fury, you detach from the outcome and evaluate the steps that led there. Your confidence then rests on continuous improvement rather than external rewards. 3. The power of intentional endurance. The Stoic practice of virtue enduring means you persistently choose what you're committed to, even when the path is rough. The same principle underlies the Bhagavad Gita's call to act as a selfless duty, dharma, action driven by intent, not emotional whim. These Stoic principles echo throughout our chapters. In Chapter 1, the warrior's stance is less a brood of courage than a disciplined choice to act despite fear. Chapter 2's quiet fire mirrors the Stoic habit of premeditating possible misfortunes to stay undisturbed. Chapter 3's unbroken arrow reflects the Stoic clarity that intention is the guide to action. Chapter 4's balanced dance captures the Stoic pursuit of harmony between desire and restraint. Finally, Chapter 5's reflecting stone reminds us that confidence is not born of external applause, but of a steady internal compass, exactly the Stoic inner sage. Stoicism, ancient as it may be, remains a living toolbox for today's innovators and dreamers. By honing perceptions, practicing mindful detachment, and enduring with intention, you weave an unshakable self-belief that resists the shifting tides of modern life. Final invitation. Your journey toward unfaltering confidence is still unfolding. Let the Stoic warrior's stance, the quiet fire, the unbroken arrow, the balanced dance, and the reflecting stone guide you forward. When you share this script, imagine it as a lantern you pass to a friend, light carried from ancient wisdom to modern courage. Thank you for wandering with me through these stories. Keep practicing, keep questioning, and keep stepping forward. Your inner compass will carry you farther than any external guide can. Like, share, subscribe, and follow to unlock more ancient secrets for today's confidence. Cheers!